A very good morning to you all, my dear students. So, in the last class, we have discussed about what when the charge is at rest means the effects of charges when they are at rest. What we observed that when a charge is at rest, it is going to produce electric field, and to bring a charge from one place to another place, we should do work done. The work done we can call as what? Per unit charge is called potential, and a device which is used to store the charge is called what? Capacitor. So, regarding these things we have learned. Now the question is, as we very well known that charge can never be at rest, it is always in motion. So, there we applied the condition that we are considering the charges are at rest, but actually the charges are always in motion. Now, if the charge starts to move, what happens? Let's see. We are going to discuss about that concept. What happens if the charge starts to move? Okay, let's see what happens, what we can call as when the charge starts to. Now we said that the first basic definition we are going to learn, we said na, when charge starts to move, what happens? The rate of flow of charges is called current. What is said that ma? What is current? The rate of flow of charges. It means if the charges starts to move, we can say that current is produced. So the current is represented as small I. So by using the definition, we can say that I equals to Q by T. What is Q? Represented as coulomb. Time is measured in seconds. So coulomb per second are ampere. So current is measured in SI unit. What is the SI unit of current? Ampere. Represented by letter capital A. Okay. Now, what is the dimension formula? Since current is an fundamental physical quantity, so dimension formula is also same. What that representation of symbol, that is A. Okay. So this is SI unit and this is dimensional formula. Now, current is a scalar or vector? I say that it is a scalar quantity. Why it is a scalar quantity? Even though it has both magnitude and direction, it is considered as scalar quantity because it does not obey vector laws of addition. How? See, vector laws of addition. Why it is not obeying the vector laws of addition? See, I will give an example that, for example, a current is flowing in this one, I, let us that 2 amperes, and it is moving in this direction. One more current is moving, that is I2, current is 3 amperes. So total current flowing through the one is what? I1 plus I2, that equals to what? 5 amperes. If you apply vector laws of addition, what happens now? The value will become what? The diagonal passing through is diagonal. Then answer is what? 4 plus 9, nearly root 13 amperes. So if current are moving at any angle, the net current is algebraic sum of the currents flowing through the conductors, but we are not going to apply the vector laws. So that's why we can consider this is a scalar quantity. So what is current? The rate of flow of charges is called current. I equals to rate of flow of charge. So Q by T, that can also be written as what? N E by T. As we know that Q is equals to Ne, charge is quantized. So SI unit of current is ampere and dimension formula is also A. It is a scalar quantity because it has both magnitude and direction but does not obey the vector laws of addition. Now, for example, generally two types of current are there. If the rate of flow of charge is constant, it is called steady current. Means the flow is constant, we can say that the rate of flow of charge is constant, then we can say that steady current. That implies what? dq by dt is equals to 0. If the flow of charge varying continuously, okay, same question can be written as what? If the rate of flow of charge is varying, it is called variable current or varying current. So varying current means what? dq by dt is not equals to 0, means the flow of charge is not constant anartha. Now what are the carriers? For example, we said that charges. What are the charges that makes to flow of current? Is it right? We get that out, that what are the charge carriers in different substances to make flow of current. So here we know that in atoms positive or metals, protons cannot move because they are strongly bounded by nuclear forces. Here the charges that are responsible for current is what? Electrons. In metals, electrons are the charge carriers which flows the current. In semiconductors, the charge carriers are what? We have two types of charge carriers are there, that are holes and electrons. Holes and electrons. Okay. Next, so in metals, electrons. In semiconductors, what ma? Holes and electrons. Next, in cells, ions are the charge carriers, or in discharge tubes. So in discharge tube or Nelsons and all this, what can we say that ions are the charge carriers. Next one, we can say that in cells, or we can say that electrolytic solutions. So in electrolytic solutions, what are the charge carriers? Are ions. So as convention, we know that direction of current, right? As convention, the direction of, or we can say that the direction of flow of positive charges gives the direction of current. So as we know that in a battery, the positive charges move from positive to negative, and the direction of current is from positive to negative. Whatever may be the current, due to electron current or any current, and the electronic current direction is the direction of electrons, we can say that, not electronic current. Electronic current is also what, ma? The direction of flow of electrons is from where to where? Is from negative to positive. So finally, what is the direction of current? Positive to negative, if it is either due to positive charges or due to negative charges. So positive charges move from positive to negative, whereas negative charges move from negative to positive, but the direction of both charges is from positive to negative. That is called conventional direction or conventional current. So now we come to know that what is the magnitude of current, what is the direction, how magnitude of current, rate of flow of charges, how many charges are flowing through any cross section gives the magnitude of current, and the direction of current is always from positive to negative. And we come to know that in metals, what are the charge carriers, means what are the current carrying conductors? Semiconductors, holes and electrons. In electrolytic solutions, ions. As well as insulators, they won't allow the current because the free charges are very less in insulators, and all the metals are good conductors of current because all has free electrons, more electrons, so that they they can flow easily and produce electric current. Now let us define ampere. So what is ampere? It is the SI unit of current. 1 ampere equals to what? 1 coulomb per second. So we can define this as current through a wire is said to be 1 ampere if a charge of 1 coulomb flows through any cross section of the wire in 1 second. See, current through any conductor or through a wire. Current through a wire is said to be 1 ampere if when 1 coulomb of charge, if a charge of 1 coulomb flows through any cross section in 1 second. One coulomb of charge flows through any cross section of wire in 1 second. Okay, so that is these are the basic concepts of current. So what is current? The rate of flow of charge is called current. If the charge is varying, it is called variable current. If the flow of charge is constant, it is called steady current. And the positive charges or the current due to positive charges is called conventional current. Its direction is from positive to negative. And the current due to negative charges is called electronic current, and its direction also move from positive to negative. So this current is measured in amperes, and it is a scalar quantity because it has both magnitude and direction, but it does not obey the vector laws of addition. So it becomes a scalar quantity. Or we have defined the ampere of current as current through wire is said to be 1 ampere if 1 coulomb of charge flows through any cross section of wire in 1 second. So next concept is current density. Let us see what is current density. I is current is represented as what ma? I, whereas current density is represented as J.